Hello everyone, my name is Mike and I am the co-founder of the Wanda Pratnika Center. Today we are looking at two things that quietly decide everything that is happening in your life. The first thing is that you will see how wide your view of the reality actually is. And the second thing is, you will be able to understand who is running the projector behind you. The projector that is producing your daily experience. And here we will start with a question. And the question is, why can two people in the exact same circumstances end up living in two completely different worlds? And the difference here is not the world itself. It is the window each of them is looking through. We are going also to look into the most useful ideas contained in this podcast and at the same time the most uncomfortable. And the idea is that almost everything that irritates you about other people actually is coming from inside you. And that is by no means about blame. It is much closer to great news. It means that you have the power to change everything that you are struggling with. Because the source of your experience was never outside of you. And hopefully by the end of this episode, you will see that the goal is not about fixing the external. It is so much simpler than that. You only need to clean your windows. Look at what kind of movie is actually running in your own projector. And once you really get that, something shifts and incredible changes are on its way. Hopefully, you will see how you relate to conflict and how you relate to other people, even how you see your own life story. A very important thing is that reality always looks the way your ego is built to see it. It is never bigger than that. Imagine that you are looking at the world from the ground floor window of your building. And that's just it. That's all you can see. And you assume that it's everything there is. And your ego works exactly the same way. It shows you a picture of life shaped entirely by your personal beliefs, with absolutely no idea that there might be so much more beyond that. And here is the difference between different people. They are simply looking out from different floors. Someone who is standing on a higher floor sees more of the landscape. And that is not because they are better in any way. It is because their point of looking is wider. We have the tendency to assume that our own floor is the only real one. There are people in this world who are blocking the view from their windows entirely. Or they replace the window with a screen. Some decide they don't need any more knowledge. Others again, they try to get it from TV or internet instead of direct experience, which, of course, is a very poor substitute. Either way, they just stop looking outward. And knowledge only becomes wisdom after it is lived, not just learned. You can gather all the theoretical knowledge there is in the world, and it is still not going to be enough. It has to be tested through your own experience, including your own mistakes, before it can set into something real inside of you. You can move to a higher floor. You can always do that, but only if there is actually a need to do that. Nobody is stuck here, and climbing higher will not erase what you already saw before. It just adds to it. And a very important subject. Even higher floors can have dirty windows. And therefore, moving up doesn't automatically mean clarity. We often carry old and distorted beliefs up with us, and they cloud the new view. The real goal of the whole situation is not the altitude, it is about cleaning the glass. It is about clearing out the old cultural and family conditioning. Strong beliefs, even those ones that the society agrees on, can be completely wrong, and clinging to them causes unnecessary suffering. Throughout history, whole populations organized their lives around ideas that later turned out to be completely false, simply because nobody questioned them. So updating your view of the world, and especially during tough times, times of major change like today, isn't a threat to who you are, and it is the only way forward. And a very great and liberating sentence is, you are the projector. From a young age, we learn to prioritize the opinions of parents, family, and society over our own inner sense of things, over our own intuition. And most of us are still doing it as adults. And ignoring your intuition, your inner voice, makes you believe that you are only a physical body living in a completely material world. The more we override our intuition, the more proof we gather that we are just this physical body and nothing more. And that is a kind of hypnosis. And that way we are not noticing what is really going on. The thought always comes first, and experience is only the echo of that. And here is a scary question. If you are afraid of an accident or of getting sick, you are not predicting the future, you are setting the future in motion. And for most of us, the fear is the first domino stone that sets things in motion. The universe is never failing to deliver, and therefore you will always get results. And the real choice that you have is in which direction your thoughts are going. And what irritates you about other people or about situations is a projection from inside of you. Think of a movie projector. The picture appears on the screen, but the image is actually coming from your own mind. If you carry inside of you unresolved shame or anger or fear, you will keep seeing situations that will evoke in you shame, anger, or fear. And therefore trying to fix a difficult relationship by getting the other person to change is just like scratching at the movie screen. It is pointless. You need to change the film inside the projector inside of you. And here is a very interesting example from the world. There was a group of employees complaining about a harsh and uncaring boss. And here is a very interesting situation. Some of them have deep inside themselves committed to thinking of him differently, of thinking of him like with having patience and expecting good intentions. And they found that his behavior toward them actually shifted. And the ones who refused to change their view kept getting the same harsh treatment. And therefore, what bothers you most in someone else is often a trait that you haven't just accepted inside yourself. And once you notice that, irritating people all of the sudden stop being enemies and they start becoming your teachers. And here a very important issue. If you are becoming willing to accept to be wrong is one of the most important skills for growth. Because catching an error in yourself is actually a gift the moment your understanding expands. And when we get too comfortable and stop growing, the life has the tendency to intervene. Sometimes the universe is sending an illness towards us or a setback. simply to make us aware that it is not possible to stand still. You are in reality a soul and not a body, and every soul is equally powerful, incredibly powerful. An old and sick and struggling body says nothing about the strength of the soul inside it. And once everyone is understanding that, comparing yourself to others stops making any sense at all. So, summing up the episode, how much you can see depends on how clean your window is. And what you see outside in the world, in the people, in the conflicts, in the reactions, is being generated by what's playing inside of you, not by the world itself. And therefore it makes absolutely no sense to wait for other people or the world to change first. You can start with the very one thing that actually you have a full access to and you have the full control about, and that is your own beliefs, and that is your own window, your own projector. I'd be very, very glad if you were able to start the understanding inside of you that what's really irritating you on the outside is pointing on your own problem, on your own false belief. And these false beliefs are just making your reality. You would be benefiting a lot if you were able to start noticing these things. Okay, thank you so much for listening to that podcast, and I invite you to the next one in 2 weeks. Until then, stay well. Bye-bye.